Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is UsernameHere, joined by my co-commentator and good friend Devion, and welcome to this. I believe this is the third invitational tournament that we've done for the Grand Marshal Grand Tournament. And can you believe how beautiful Gold Coast and these Grand Marshals look, my friend Devion?
Yeah, with the new graphics update recently, it really improved the frame rate and as well as how everything looks.
Also, the bar still is red now.
Yeah, the graphics update made the bar so bright red, and also the
Yeah.
shipping container back there is like a kind of a dark maroon color. Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
So kind of
Also,
just
that's
swap
not
the
in the
colors
right place
between
at
them.
all.
It is a relatively right place. Anyways, back to the Grand Marshals.
Yes, so for this invitational, oh, and by the way, the gimmick for this tournament is not that there's new graphics. The gimmick is that Devion will be turning the AI awareness off, which means that they're not going to care if there's a car in front of them. We tested this. It means they're going to be super mega aggressive and basically trample over each other. There's going to be a lot of overtakes, a lot of pit maneuvers, and it's going to be a mess. So yeah, let's have a look at our competitors for this invitational tournament. In the first position, hailing from the state of Minnesota on the in the northern continental United States, is the Minnesota State Patrol car. Yeah, it's got a black pair of bumpers as well as a pretty nice maroon color scheme. One of the only police, well, not really. Red is a pretty uncommon color amongst police cars, but Minnesota is sporting this very nice, slightly purplish dark red. And it is the only state law enforcement agency. Excuse me a moment. I'm fine. It is the only state law enforcement agency that has such a red color. We'll be able to see if he'll be able to, use this color to his advantage somehow. I don't know how that would work, but maybe. He's also got the first position, which means he could get himself an advantage as long as the second competitor behind him doesn't have any funny business planned. In the second position, hailing from the city of Toronto, Ontario in Canada, is obviously Toronto Police. Hailing from the city, as I just said, we have the Toronto Police car, who has a very nice color scheme under his belt, mostly white with accents of blue and a bit of red. Matches the light bar as well. Very satisfying color scheme. Personally, a pretty fun car and one of my favorite designs from Canada itself. He actually heard about this tournament from his buddy Vancouver, who was in one of the other invitationals, and he decided to give it a shot, and he managed to grab the second position. He'll be able to prove whether or not Canadian policing will be able to catch the runner more effectively or less effectively than American policing can. Let's see.
Yeah, we got a battle of the countries over here.
Yes.
Canada and the United States.
Yes, Canada versus the United States. In the third position, we have the New Hampshire State Police car with a very weird and interesting color scheme. It's foresty, yeah. He's got like the yellow sort of V shape on his door as well, pointing forward, which proves that he's definitely a bit aggressive here and in it to win it because that arrow is pointing at the runner. I don't know, dumb jokes. But yeah, he's got this weird color scheme of dark green and this weird like kind of khaki color. What do you even call that? It's like khaki but with a hint of purple. It's what? It's a bit weird. I'm not going to focus on it anymore. Kind of a forest style color scheme, and that makes sense because New Hampshire is one big giant forest source. I've been there. I've seen this car in real life, and there's nothing but trees. So yeah, let's see if New Hampshire will be able to win this invitational, or if he'll follow in the footsteps of DEP because he loves trees so much. In our fifth. This is fifth, right? No, this is fourth. What position is this?
This is fourth position.
Fourth? Yes, good. In our fourth place position, we have a giant arrow of a car. We have the Idaho State Police car with a pretty generic police color scheme, you could say, white and black. However, it's not black, white, black like most cars are, and he's got a very nice double stripe that both lead from the rear tire to the push bar. Unique way of making a police car design. I think it's okay personally, and we'll see if it will make you more aerodynamic. I don't know. Yeah, my jokes are not on point today. We'll see if it will be able to help him here in this tournament to grab himself some rounds and some victories in order to stand a chance to compete in the main tournament against some hefty competitors. In the next position, we have the Wyoming Highway Patrol Police car. A very nice Very nice design with the large triangle in the middle, but besides that, not really a lot going for him. A very interesting livery, has been serving the state of Wyoming for much time. And, again, a bit of a dreamer, you could say. He's dreaming about winning this Invitational and dreaming about getting a chance to compete against some hefty competitors like Police Interceptor and Transit Police. But he'll have a lot of ground to make up here, and a lot of stoppage to do against the runner. I don't know, I don't know. Yeah, he'll definitely have a lot of work to put in if he is going to have any chance of reaching the main tournament. In our next position, we have the hailing from New York City, the FDNY police car. Yeah, I believe it's a fire chief's car, and he's going to be bringing the heat here in this tournament, ladies and gents. He's going to be seeing if his version of heat will be enough to trump the police version of heat, because yeah, he's going to be bringing a very bright red, yellow, and white color scheme, and see if the fire department has any place in police chasing. So yeah, good luck to him in this tournament.
Yeah, we have 2 red cars in this tournament. We got Minnesota earlier, and then now we got Fire Chief. So, I don't know. Let's see if the red cars might team up and work with each other.
That is true. There could be a bit of a red team here, and yeah, let's see if they manage to somehow team up and work with each other. However, given the fact that the awareness is off, everyone's going to be trampling over each other anyway. And besides, the Barstow is red now too, so maybe the FDNY and Minnesota could end up being, like, you know, insiders on the runner side.
Yeah, that might be true as well. We will see once we get this first round going.
Indeed. In our 7th position, we have the Gotham City Police car, hailing from not the Christopher Nolan Batman movies. I honestly did do a quick internet search, and I was not able to figure out where this car design is from specifically. It's from, like, a movie or a show. It's not the Chris Nolan trilogy from, like, 2012, around there. So, not really sure exactly where this is from, but I know it's Gotham. And, yeah, it looks pretty good. It's got, like, a black top and a white bottom, and it's a very nice design. 2 stripes as well running along the rear door where the department insignia is, and the letters GCPD on the driver's side doors, with some stuff on the trunk and the roof. He's definitely equipped with a very nice livery that he could use. Maybe he'll grab style points. Maybe he'll grab style points. He is actually near Detroit's position as well. So yeah, we'll see if GCPD will follow in the footsteps of Detroit and grab himself style points as well as 3rd place victories in this game. And in 8th place, our final position, hailing from the game, Saints Row from 2006, I believe. Can't believe Saints Row 1 is that old. But yes, from Saints Row 1, the Stillwater police car. And it's with 1 L. And pro tip, this is not from Saints Row 2, where the livery is slightly different. This is, again, from Saints Row 1. Having had so much time so much time in practice against gang violence in Stillwater, against such gangs as the 3rd Street Saints, Vice Kings, Los Cardenales, and West Side Rollers, we'll see if he'll be able to bring some of that know-how and some of that experience in policing in order to police chasing abilities. Police chasing, ability. That's the word. There's a word that's escaping me, okay? Or something. Yeah, we'll be able to see if he'll be able to bring some of that expertise and know-how into this format and bring something to this game. In any event, that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Start your engines, fasten your seatbelts, activate your sirens, and turn on your lights, because round number 1 of this Invitational is about to begin. And they're off, ladies and gentlemen. With the AI awareness turned off, you'll notice they are all off to a flying start immediately. No one is waiting up for anyone else, and they're going to be practically touching each other this whole time. An overtake could happen at any moment with this AI awareness turned down. It looks like overtake's already happening. Minnesota gets spun out. Toronto, Idaho are down. FDNY is moving ahead. And Toronto has now taken the 1st place position, followed closely by Idaho, with Wyoming and New Hampshire in the back. New Hampshire is getting pit maneuver. There's so much happening all at once. Minnesota's getting pit maneuver once again. New Hampshire is in the back now. He's getting screwed over. Minnesota's screwed over once more. Toronto is in front. Idaho is in 2nd. FDNY is in 3rd. And it looks like that's Stillwater in 4th as well. So yeah, looks like some cars might be actually going off the cliff as well. Minnesota and Wyoming go off the cliff, and we are already only down to 6 cars. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is how the AI awareness battle is going to be going.
Yeah, it looks like pretty close 1, 2, and 3, while 4, 5, and 6 place are a little bit further back. And let's see if we could save anyone here. It looks like they
Looks
haven't
like
really fallen
Minnesota
off
and
yet.
Wyoming are just about already out as the runner reaches the cliff turn at the bottom. Wyoming, though, is falling off the cliffs. Looks like he could be out of this, but Minnesota is back up with some significant damage. So, yes, this AI awareness will prove to create a lot of battles for these cars. Idaho desperately trying to move Toronto out of the way. Data 1 Stillwater moving ahead once again. GCPD as well moving ahead. And here is New Hampshire rounding out these 6 cars, which are just doing whatever they can to reach the runner. Looks like they're going a bit slow. Looks like they're just trying to steady their gains from that opening battle, you could say, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like Idaho takes it a bit wide, though. FDNY does the same. It looks like Toronto will essentially have free reign. Here's Saints Row 1 Stillwater actually pit maneuvering Idaho in order to take that second place position, but GCPD and FDNY is right behind there battling. FDNY gets the second place, but then gets pit maneuvered by Saints Row 1 Stillwater, and there's a massive battle here at the forest turn, and it looks like GCPD will be moving ahead and seizing that second place position, but how are things going over on Toronto's end of things?
Looks like Toronto's doing pretty good.
Minnesota appears to be in the forest somewhere, but how is Toronto doing? Minnesota recovers, and Toronto is moving around the long turn.
Toronto seems to be doing pretty good. He was started second place, and now he's in the lead with no one around him to mess him up.
This is the baptism of fire, ladies and gentlemen. These cars are extremely aggressive because they really want that place in the tournament. Minnesota doing what he can. Here's the Barstow. Will Toronto move around the beach turn? He does manage to do it. Here is, I think, still GCPD in second, followed by New Hampshire, who somehow managed to get to third place. GCPD hits the rock. New Hampshire hits the rock as well. Their aggression will not help them, though. FDNY hits the rock. Idaho hits the rock. Central and Stillwater hits the rock. There are a lot of wipeouts here on the beach turn, ladies and gentlemen. Very unfortunate that the AI awareness will not help them here against that beach turn. Toronto still with pretty much free reign. FDNY trying to get back on the road, but hits the rock again. Looks like Central and Stillwater will be the first to recover and will move ahead and seize that second place position. Idaho and FDNY battling each other for another position. And it looks like potentially FDNY might take the position unless he is pit maneuvered as GCPD manages to get back on the road. Looks like a bit of a T-bone there. Looks like the runner actually has something under his car. This could prove to slow him down a lot. Toronto to actually get ahead. Toronto is actually getting pit maneuvered by the runner. Toronto has blocked the runner. Toronto has not actually stopped the runner, but a block is still pretty good, I would say. This could mean someone in the back, like Sancho and Stillwater, could try to come in order to actually kill the runner's engine. So Toronto has set up his roadblock, and here comes Sancho and Stillwater, almost an impromptu team. But which one will actually manage to seize the point in this game? Oh, the runner's trying to push across Toronto, but Toronto has stalled enough for Saints. Saints Row 1 hits Toronto and frees the runner. Saints Row 1 actually betraying the police, essentially hitting Toronto, and Toronto will now be helped out. Saints Row 1 will now be trying to move ahead of Toronto. Is Toronto's car okay? FDNY smashes into Toronto as well, so what an upset here as all the other cars manage to move ahead and overtake Toronto.
I don't think Toronto's happy that he basically got his round ruined by Saints Row.
Indeed, Toronto is going to have a Toronto hat jukes about how awful this treatment is, but yes, with the AI awareness off, these cars are extremely aggressive. Saints Row 1 Stillwater is now in the first place position, followed closely by the FDNY car, looking to make that red color mean something, and GCPD is still moving ahead in that third place position, seeing what he can do. Just behind him, it appears Saints Row 1 Stillwater is making some contact. Looks like the runner will be spun out. FDNY misses, though. GCPD misses. Now the runner is moving back, and this could mean a head-on collision opportunity. Who is this? This appears to be Idaho, but he misses entirely because his steering is busted. I don't know if you caught that, but his steering was busted, meaning he was not able to accomplish anything. Who now is in front of the runner? Toronto is stuck, but Toronto actually has a chance to redeem himself this game as long as he manages to get off the rock and succeed in the head-on. He has gotten off the rock. The runner is now moving up to the container, but looks like someone's trying to stop the runner. FDNY trying to stop him before he manages to get there. Toronto desperately looking for something to happen, but FDNY is making constant contact with the runner as Central 1 Stillwater is there too. Toronto's coming in for the hit, and the hit manages to come out, ladies and gentlemen. There is a sandwich. Toronto and FDNY make a sandwich, ladies and gentlemen, so I hope you're hungry. The runner is now, appears to be dead. FDNY is now still in the game, still pushing the runner, but the runner has pretty much been sandwiched. I would be surprised if that car is still running.
Looks like the car's basically dead. He's not getting anywhere anytime soon.
This car is extremely dead, ladies and gentlemen, so it looks like that round will go to Toronto after being betrayed by Saints Row 1 Stillwater. Toronto will be taking the first round.
You know, I'm surprised that, okay, they're still going at it, but I'm surprised the comeback Toronto did. He got screwed over and got spun out and lost a bunch of positions. But then the runner got turned around and he got a head-on collision and basically wins the round.
Indeed, Toronto staying in the game and proving that he is in it to win it, and he has the resilience even when things get tough. FDNY as well doing the same. We hardly saw FDNY up until the end as well, so yeah. I'm honestly not sure if FDNY deserves a point as well for that contact and for that extra pressure against the runner.
I feel like FDNY doesn't really get a point because, like, yes, he did push the runner towards Toronto, but at the same time, the runner was still going that direction regardless, so he would have gotten hit.
Indeed, yes. So it looks like the first round will be taken by Toronto, ladies and gentlemen. A very nice performance of perseverance, and it really paid off for him. He was able to make a sandwich.
And now let's check on the other cars that aren't here at the moment.
How are things going? Ooh, GCPD has FDNY's bumper, and he is backing up against the rock. Unfortunate for him. He was pretty aggressive in this game, but just wasn't able to manage to make anything happen. Idaho as well in the background right there, doing the same, but also wasn't really able to make much happen. Also unfortunate for him.
I feel like if Idaho didn't have damaged steering, he definitely would have gotten the point.
That's true. Idaho missed the head-on only because his steering was busted and his car and his front tire was like 90 degrees to the side, even though he's trying to turn.
Well,
Oh, but he's
like
actually still in the game, though. Idaho, despite all that stuff, is actually going to appear, is actually going to drive over to the scene of the final accident. So, good job on Idaho for perseverance, despite all the things being wrong with his car. He's slowing down, going in the dirt a bit, but yeah, he'll manage it. Yeah, look at his tire. Look at his left tire. Look at his front left tire. His front left tire is definitely a bit problematic for him, yeah. Definitely has the perseverance and has what it takes, though. He might bump. Yep, he bumps Saints 1 Stillwater, so well done for him. Speaking of Saints 1 Stillwater, yeah, Saints 1 Stillwater with the underhanded tactics here in this game, absolutely screwing over Toronto when he had a chance to hit the runner. So it looks like he definitely did go a little aggressive, taking a page out of Seacrest County's playbook from the very beginning of the tournament, yeah. Minnesota, I'm not even sure what happened there. They just got screwed over early, and then we never saw them again. Unfortunate for them, especially because they started in the first position. Looks like the beach turn got them really good.
Yeah, the cars looks really mangoed for all this.
The front door isn't connected to the car anymore. Oh, New Hampshire's in the water. That's kind of ironic, considering New Hampshire is like the tree car. They like trees, but they're in the water. That's not how that works. There are no trees underwater unless you're playing Subnautica. And Wyoming is just... Oh, yeah, right. They fell off the cliff turn in the cinematic corner I made at the very beginning. Unfortunate for Wyoming, who is... that's their tire floating, at least. So I guess that's a consolation prize. Could be a sign of things to come. Who knows? Either way, yeah, unfortunate that Wyoming had such a horrible round. As their tire tries spinning, that's a good trick.
Looks like that's all the cars, right?
Yep.
So yeah, no awareness for the... And so far, the first round turns out pretty exciting. So, like, let's hope it keeps going like that for the rest of the 2 rounds this episode.
Indeed, yes.
Anyways, now we will clean up all this mess and set everything up for the next round.
And welcome to the lineup for round number 2, ladies and gentlemen. Toronto taking the first round. Well done to him. He will be taking 1 point in this invitational tournament, but he does have a lot of stiff competition that may want to take that title from him. Toronto could manage to pull a JTF and get a second win. As a matter of fact, if he gets a second win in round 2, that means that he'll have already won the best of 3, and that means there could be no round 3, or maybe we could have a round. I don't know.
Well, if there's a tie for round 2, then someone can get a point in round 3, and I'm
saying that if Toronto solely wins round 2 and he has 2 points, then does that mean that we'd have no round 3?
We will run a round 3, but we already know who's the winner, right?
I guess so. This is a big if, by the way. There's no way of knowing if Toronto will actually do that.
I wonder if the other cars are upset that the only Canadian car is winning.
Yes. All of these cars are American, and Toronto, meanwhile, is going to end up apologizing for the victory. It's a stereotype.
And we have Stillwater in the back. You remember, it does not matter where you start because JTF won 2 rounds in the back.
That is true. Stillwater is in the back, but it absolutely does not matter where you start because JTF was able to win despite being in the back. And Stillwater was actually very aggressive in this game. Almost hit the runner, but chose to hit Toronto instead because I guess he's got a vendetta. I guess I guess all that time fighting gangs has really cemented an aggressive mindset in him, you could say. In any event, I suppose that's it for all that. Ladies and gentlemen, activate your sirens, turn on your lights, start your engines, and fasten your seatbelts, because round number 2 is about to begin. And once again, they are immediately off, ladies and gentlemen, forming a frickin' conga line. GCPD and Stillwater having a bit of trouble in the back, though. I'm not sure what that's about.
I'm not sure what's wrong with them, but like looks like we got a couple overtakes already.
Yep, and they'll figure it out in the back. Meanwhile, it looks like we do have a couple of overtakes. A lot of these cars are being extremely aggressive. Oh, it looks like Idaho is getting spun out a bit next to the ditch. Yeah, Idaho having a bit of a problem, absolutely bullied and is trying to move ahead again, but Wyoming will be taking position number 5. Looks like Minnesota is poised to get pit maneuvered again by Toronto. So how about it? Toronto will be in first once again. Wyoming and FDNY battling a little bit. They will crash into Minnesota, actually righting Minnesota. And meanwhile, GCPD and Stillwater are still a bit screwed over at the start, I think.
Yeah, I don't know why they don't want to move, but
It's because Gotham is trying to reverse, because he's a moron. Oh, maybe they're going now.
But yeah, it looks like Minnesota gets screwed once again, despite starting in first, and Toronto's in first this time. But we already know being first doesn't mean you're gonna win.
Indeed, yes. Being first doesn't mean you're going to win. This post made by Mississippi gang. Toronto and New Hampshire are battling for that first place position. Toronto is holding it, but with New Hampshire breathing down his rear, there could be a pit maneuver here, ladies and gentlemen. Toronto actually spins out and gives up the position to New Hampshire. So New Hampshire will now be in first place with Toronto not far behind.
It looks like looks like after first and second, the cars are pretty spaced out.
After first and second, it looks like the car's pretty spaced out. FDNY is now in third, and looks like just behind it. Oh, Toronto trying to gain his position again. Toronto and New Hampshire are actually battling for first place. Toronto will be pit maneuvering New Hampshire, so not having any of that crap, will be taking his first place position back. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is why AI awareness is cool.
Oh, looks like they're going off now.
Yep, JCP. Did I just say JC? No. GCPD and Stillwater are now moving ahead as well. There is no Jesus Christ Police Department in this game, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't know why Toronto did that, because being first does not mean you're going to win. But I don't know. He spun out New Hampshire, and New Hampshire, I don't think he's happy about that one.
Indeed. Being first does not mean you're going to win, but being close to the runner definitely does. And with Toronto holding that distance next to the runner, it could definitely help him, especially if New Hampshire being in second screws up on the beach turn. Unlikely to happen, though. Toronto could do the same as well. Looks like their steering is a bit weird. No, they got it, though. New Hampshire coming in really fast. Goes right into... I'd like to apologize for that brief intermission. Wyoming loses a couple tires. FDNY goes off the beach turn as well. Idaho does the same, and New Hampshire screws up on the beach turn as well. So Toronto will once again have free reign over the runner in the front. Who's coming in here now? Is that Minnesota? Looks like Minnesota will be actually trying to recover here, but it looks like he will hit the rock as well, and just about everyone has screwed up on the beach turn except for GCPD and Stillwater as well as Toronto. And how are things going over on Toronto's end?
Looks like Toronto hasn't caught the runner yet, but we will focus right now on fixing like the 8 cars that flew off here.
That is true indeed. FDNY will be lucky enough to go see second place as a result of this screw up on the beach turn. Idaho will be absolutely yeeted back out of the course pretty much. I did just use yeet ironically, so how about it? I mean, unironically, that's the word I was looking for.
Oh my god.
Oh, looks like here comes GCPD and Stillwater. So everyone has screwed up on the beach turn except for Toronto. Unfortunate for them, but they will be helped, ladies and gentlemen. And once again, how are things going over on Toronto's end?
Looks like runner still hasn't been caught, and Toronto's still trying to catch the runner. But being the flea car, we all know that he's gonna put up a good battle.
That is true, yes. Toronto being the second car in the lineup is the flea car, but twice he's been up in front, pretty much 1v1ing the runner. So yeah, he'll definitely have to work for his victory, but the first game proves that he can absolutely do it. Game run.
Looks like Minnesota's car is pretty pristine. Toronto has a really clean car. He's in the water. His car's missing a bunch of stuff. His car's missing a whole wheel.
Wyoming is a bit tired.
Yep.
Yep.
Actually, Gotham has a pretty pristine car, except for the door, and Stillwater is pretty damaged. And yeah,
indeed, a lot of cars are up pretty nicely, but looks like Toronto losing a bit of distance with the runner. That's okay though, because he has free reign to try to stop the runner when he can. Most of the other cars, except for New Hampshire, are just trying to gain all the ground that they lost as a result of the beach turn, and they're trying to catch up so that they can get into this fight and seize that point for themselves.
You think anyone's gonna get any head-ons this round?
I don't think anyone is going in the opposite direction, so at the moment, it doesn't seem to be possible. Wyoming and New Hampshire are in the beach turn, but they're still just a bit busted, and it looks like Toronto will be moving ahead past them to see what they can do, see what he can do. At the moment, it doesn't look like a head-on collision will happen, because I don't think anyone is going the opposite way around Gold Coast. If they were, that could happen, but I don't think they are.
I believe these cars deserve a reset.
I suppose they could grab a reset, sure. New Hampshire will come back. It looks like Wyoming will come back as well in just a second. New Hampshire is now back in the game. Wyoming is back in the game. And I think they'll actually be in second and third, respectively, as a result. Stillwater was a bit really busted up over there. Not sure what happened with that.
Whoa, where'd he come from?
GCPD with a pit maneuver out of absolutely nowhere. Don't even know where he came from. Toronto T-bones the runner off the road as well. And he's almost going to force the runner back onto the track in the other direction. There's GCPD as well. It's out of absolutely nowhere. After I talked about not thinking anyone was going the other way.
Actually, GCP deserves that point because when you hear GCPD hit the runner, you can hear basically his drive shaft break, and then like Toronto just hit him when he was sitting still. So Toronto does not deserve the point for this one.
Alright, I suppose that launch is pretty good. I will take it. The second round will go to GCPD as a result of an epic head-on pit maneuver this time, instead of a collision. Yeah, Toronto showing that they are extremely aggressive as well, T-boning the runner almost up to this cliff. So yeah, they're definitely in it to win it here, ladies and gents.
Yeah, it's actually I never thought they would ever get caught here, but like, oh, and here comes Idaho. Anyways,
here's Idaho.
I never thought they would be caught here, but
yes.
this would happen.
This is the first in BeamNG.drive Grand Marshal Tournament history that we have the runner stopped on this cliff next to the cinematic corner.
Yeah, now let's check on the other cars.
Minnesota just got busted again, didn't really do much, unfortunate for them. Toronto, once again, having a very aggressive game, and despite having one round under their belt, they were unfortunately not able to get the second round, despite having free reign over the runner for so long. GCPD just walked right in and stole it from them, unfortunate for them. Here's, GCPD is down here as well. GCPD, meanwhile, will be the one taking that point. Yeah, here's GCPD. That's not GCPD, I'm an idiot. They were down here, though.
What happens? They just left.
Oh, they're in the ditch.
They caught the runner and just left.
GCPD takes his win with an epic pit maneuver and then decides to just fashionably leave and then just, you know, hey, I guess he'll have to ditch that car. Anyways, GCPD, yeah, winning the round. Well done for him with an amazing head-on pit maneuver that we've actually not really seen here in this Grand Marshal tournament. He will be seizing a point for himself, so well done to him with a completely functioning drive shaft. Meanwhile, these three cars, was lump them all in. New Hampshire was in the water. Wyoming got tired, and I'm not sure what Idaho was doing. I don't really know. Not a hugely notable effort.
But these cars are pretty.
But I don't know. It just didn't really work out for them this time.
These cars are pretty damaged, to be honest. Like, that's what I noticed. They're actually a lot of damage.
Extremely screwed up. But that's understandable. Wyoming and New Hampshire have quite a bit of damage, despite actually having been reset. FDN wanted to try to get off the beach turn, and they just unfortunately weren't able to. And I guess their car quit on them. So yeah, unfortunate for them. GSPD again. Who's that? Oh, Stillwater is in the Stillwater is off the cliff in the cinematic corner. So again, unfortunate for them. They might have been pushed off, but that's a serious amount of damage on their cars. I don't know. They must have had a really bad time. So I guess karma really got them for screwing over Toronto in the beginning.
So yeah, that looks like about it for this round. We will now reset all the cars and head on to the final round of this episode.
Welcome to the lineup for round number 3, ladies and gentlemen. In the first place position, we have Minnesota State Patrol, who just kind of got screwed over twice. Very unfortunate for them. And it kind of proves that with the AI awareness turned off, the person in first place is honestly a bit of a
punching bag.
Disadvantaged. Yeah, I think they're disadvantaged here because they're just very likely to get pit maneuvered if they're in front of cars.
Yeah, they're just there, and then they just get hit. There's no point in being in first in this invitational.
Yeah, imagine someone telling Mississippi that. Mississippi is actually watching this invitational right now, and they're just like shuddering. They're like, "I'm so glad I don't have to do this. I'm
Yeah,
so glad I'm in the tournament already, and I don't have to do this."
but too bad Minnesota has started in first, and he's getting screwed over every time. But who knows? We have one more round to decide.
That is true, yes. And speaking of the round to decide, in the second place position, we have Toronto, please, hailing from Ontario, Canada, with 1 point under his belt and a very nice performance in the first two rounds. First one he took. Second one was stolen from under him by GCPD, so that could cause a bit of a rivalry for this final round. But with such an aggressive car and such an aggressive series of wins and experiences under his belt, he could definitely make this round his. And he could actually manage to reach the main tournament. In the third place position, we have New Hampshire State Police, actually. It says State Trooper, who, he really likes the water. Despite being a forest car, he really likes the water. I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know.
You know, like in the regular tournament, being in third is the prime position, like what Detroit has shown us. But being in third in the Invitational over here seems to have done absolutely nothing. You just gotta be in second.
Indeed, starting in third appears to be a bit of an advantage in the main tournament, but a disadvantage here. Which is kind of weird because Fairhaven started in third, like, all the time, and they just, like, stopped getting points one day, and then everyone was sad.
Yes, and we'll move on to the next car.
Worst timeline. In the fourth place position, we have Idaho State Police, and clearly that big giant arrow in his car has not really helped him very much. He has kind of been a bit manhandled through a lot of this game, and hasn't really managed to make anything work for him. So this could be his final round to make something happen, though, because if he gets a point, then we will go to a three-card decider. In the fifth, right?
This is, yes, the fifth position.
In the fifth place position, once again, we have Wyoming Highway Patrol. I almost said Wyoming because, yeah, it's a homing. Yeah,
it's a homing missile.
Yes, homing missile, jokes. Wyoming Highway Patrol, who is actually not performing like a homing missile because he has just managed to crash a lot in these first couple of rounds. However, there is still one round yet to be done, and it could be his round to take if he manages to get through all of the competition, defeat Toronto, and stop the runner. Then we will, again, be able to go to a three-card decider. In our sixth place position, we have the FDNY police car hailing from the city of New York, who hasn't really managed to make the fire department proud here, unfortunately. He has been quite aggressive, but none of it has managed to actually translate into any points. So it is pretty unfortunate for him, but he still has one chance left in order to force a three-card decider. In our seventh place position, the absolute thief of the last round's points, we have GCPD. It's kind of ironic that he's a thief because he got the white and black color scheme. Had jokes. So yeah, he managed to actually steal that last point from Toronto, and Toronto really should have gotten it. But yeah, GCPD just came out of absolute nowhere. And if GCPD is able to use similar tactics in this particular round, they will actually be able to not force a decider. They could manage to seize themselves the second point and come out on top for this invitational episode. And in our final position, the absolute there's a word that's escaping me. I don't know what it is. It kind of means like, I don't know, whatever. Stillwater, ladies and gentlemen, hailing from Saints Row 1, an absolute kind of a really aggressive, I'm not going to think about the word, very aggressive car that actually really did screw over Toronto in the first round, but it wasn't able to get a point out of it, and Toronto was able to just win. Toronto was able to just win despite. Stillwater has since then had a lot of crashes and a lot of aggressive plays, but also a lot of crashes. So they will definitely need to step up their game if they want to have a chance of reaching the first place position from last place. In the event that is it for our lineup, ladies and gentlemen, activate your sirens, turn on your lights, start your engines, and fasten your seatbelts, because the final round of this episode of this invitational is about to begin. Toronto immediately hitting Minnesota in the back as all these cars create the classic conga line over to the runner, ladies and gents. This is how the AI awareness moves.
Oh, looks like we
Looks
already
like
got a
Idaho will be
crash.
spitting out into the wall. Wyoming does the same. FDNY, GCPD, and Stillwater will be moving ahead as well. Toronto spins out a bit. Toronto losing positions, and Minnesota and New Hampshire will now be fighting for that first place position.
Oh, Minnesota's still in first. Let's see how long he can keep it.
Yes, Minnesota has actually managed to hold that first place position, but will they keep it or will the cinematic?
Oh, he gets an
swing
overtake.
Over? Looks like they get spun a little bit with some overtakes. Looks like New Hampshire and FDNY will now be in the first place position. Looks like GCP is actually getting pit maneuvered by Toronto, so it's a battle between our first place cars, ladies and gentlemen. Toronto spins out GCPD and ensures that Toronto.
Oh, he gets
will be trying to
launched into the air.
GCPD is actually on top of Wyoming now, so is Wyoming just gonna try and take out the trash? Imagine if Wyoming actually throws GCPD off the cliff. That'd be insane.
We got a pretty heated battle for like second place over here with 3 cars piled up.
Indeed, an extremely heated battle, ladies and gentlemen, with New Hampshire actually in first and FDNY in second. New Hampshire is gaining some ground. Looks like this could actually be potentially an early end if the bar still slows down. He does a little bit. Looks like some contacts being made. FDNY spins out. Minnesota and Stillwater are trying to hit FDNY, and New Hampshire is now in the front, and the Barstow will maybe be going slow because Toronto is actually down in fifth.
Maybe New Hampshire might get a point after screwing up the first 2 rounds.
New Hampshire, after spending so much time in the lake, could actually get a point here. The Barstow actually goes into the trees of all things. New Hampshire goes into the trees with him, so actually managing to make the trees work for him. New Hampshire using the nature to his advantage in a way that DEP never could. And I don't even know if that could be considered a win for New Hampshire or the environment, but yeah.
I believe New Hampshire won that one.
Overtakes the turn.
I think New Hampshire deserves that win. He forced them into the trees, and they basically got him out. Like, I think, yeah, that deserves a win.
Yeah.
What happened back here, though?
Actually goes into the trees, and New Hampshire keeps him there, using Mother Nature to his advantage. GCPD and Wyoming have created a massive roadblock along with Idaho's. How about that?
Yeah, I feel bad for GCPD. He got spun out by Toronto and basically mounted by another car.
That is true. Well, actually, he's the one that...
But he mounts another car. That's what I meant to say.
Yes, GCPD, after having such an amazing round 2 experience, and round 2 performance, he just got completely screwed in this particular round. He is now part of a roadblock. So yeah, very unfortunate for him.
Yeah, I feel like Toronto might be a bit jealous and kind of ruin someone else's chances to get a point.
Indeed, Toronto may have been a bit jealous and fought to just make sure GCPD couldn't steal the win away from him again. And he's actually in the trees, so it proves that he really wanted that 3rd point, but he was unfortunately not able to get it.
Yeah, it turns out when you sabotage other people, it doesn't guarantee you a win.
Yes, indeed.
So who else we got? We got everyone else who showed up.
Stillwater, FDNY, and Minnesota had some good fighting here, you could say. I don't know if that's the right word.
But none of them got a
Stillwater,
point.
FDNY, and Minnesota put up a good performance and put up a good fight here in this game, but unfortunately it just wasn't enough for them. Minnesota got a bit screwed. FDNY and Stillwater were very aggressive through these rounds, but it unfortunately just wasn't enough to manage to get them a point.
So yeah, looks like New Hampshire, Toronto, and GCPD will be moved on to the tiebreaker rounds, and everybody else will be.
Looks like we have a 3-way tie between our cars, and it will result in a 3-way tiebreaker, ladies and gentlemen. Idaho, say goodbye to Idaho, Wyoming, FDNY, Minnesota, and Stillwater, because they are going to be out of this invitational, unfortunately for them, and we will be setting up a 3-car tiebreaker in order to decide who deserves to play in the big leagues in the main tournament.
Okay.
And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the 3-way tiebreaker. We are going right into it. Toronto, the leader of the first round, moving ahead. Looks like GCPD will be bumping into New Hampshire as well. Both these cars with 1 point to their name and looking to take home the win for this invitational tournament. Toronto moving ahead aggressively. GCPD and New Hampshire, meanwhile, fighting for the back position. New Hampshire's actually blocking off GCPD a little bit, so Toronto could be moving ahead to grab themselves a bit of an early lead with some distance between New Hampshire and Toronto now.
We'll see. GCP is going for an overtake.
GCPD going for the overtake. Yes, New Hampshire will now be in 3rd as a result of that, and the Barstow is moving along ahead to the shipping container. Toronto is not far behind him, looking to secure himself this invitational win, but GCPD is not far behind, looking to potentially steal it from him.
Yeah, if Toronto spins him out, but he doesn't take him out, we have GCPD here to get the point.
Indeed, yes. It is what it will. It could once again be proven that being in first does not necessarily equal points. If Toronto manages to spin the runner out, then that will give GCPD and New Hampshire a shot at winning this invitational and getting into the main tournament. We are now at the we call this the clip turn, right? Yeah. We are now at the clip turn. Toronto, the runner, and GCPD will be moving through it just fine. New Hampshire will be doing the same. New Hampshire's a bit further back. Looks like they've got a bit of ground to make up. Unfortunate for them, but I believe in them, and they could do it. I mean, after all, they were able to seize the runner in the last round, actually right here as well.
Yeah, they were able to get the clutch wins and basically make this tiebreaker round happen.
Yes, New Hampshire was able to get the clutch win. Toronto was able to sandwich the runner with FDNY in the first round, and GCPD managed to steal it from Toronto in the second round. So this will be a very interesting battle, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't know who's gonna win here, cause like I don't know which one of these are gonna screw up the beach turn. That's the only way that's gonna change the positions.
I agree. So far, the positions haven't really been changed. We haven't seen many pit maneuvers in the beginning. GCPD overtaking New Hampshire, and that's all that really happened. New Hampshire is actually quite far away now as well. So yeah, the beach turn will be the thing to throw the monkey wrench into this current lineup.
You know, New Hampshire needs some sort of luck if he wants to win this tiebreaker.
That is true. New Hampshire needs to either turn around or have some luck. Looks like Toronto is almost getting to the runner. Toronto tried to pit maneuver the runner, but it didn't work. We'll be going around the beach turn just fine. Same with GCPD as well. New Hampshire screws up the beach turn. Unfortunate for him. So it looks like his chances of being in the main tournament are starting to fade away. And meanwhile, it will now become a fight down between Toronto and GCPD playing their own Mississippi versus Police Interceptor game.
Yeah, it's the battle of Canada versus the United States here.
Yes, Canada versus the United States, ladies and gentlemen. Toronto with the white, blue, and red color scheme and the bold lettering moving ahead along the cinematic corner. GSPD following not far behind him with his black and white color scheme, both of which could potentially mean something for them as long as they manage to get up towards the runner and make something happen here in this game.
It looks like GCPD has caught up quite a bit.
GCPD has indeed caught up quite a bit, and the two are almost virtually next to each other. And with AI awareness off, GCPD could actually move ahead aggressively to try and potentially pit maneuver Toronto. That could absolutely happen. In addition, New Hampshire starting in second, I think, and being the fleet car means that New Hampshire is quite far away from the Barstow, meaning that Toronto needs only to just move ahead and seize that point for himself without spinning the runner around so that he can be head on. And,
we got a really good battle here. They're so close together.
Indeed, a very interesting battle here. All GCPD needs to do is spin out Toronto. All Toronto needs to do is stop the runner without spinning him out. And this is essentially anybody's game here, ladies and gentlemen. These two are locked in vicious combat, and this round could go to anyone.
Oh, he loses a bit of ground, but he's probably going to make it back up on the straightaway.
Yes, GCPD loses a bit of ground on that forest turn. He's going to try and make it back up on the long straight, though, as we enter the long straight for the second time in this round. New Hampshire's a little bit nowhere to be seen. Unfortunate for them. They're still just trying to make up for the lost ground, and eventually, if they get lapped, New Hampshire could actually turn around. That would be good. That'd be a good strategy for him to do.
New Hampshire needs some sort of miracle if he wants to win this round. That's all I gotta say.
Indeed, yes, pretty much. Looks like GSPD is actually moving ahead a little bit. It's almost some contact here. They are very close to each other. Almost a contact virtually, pretty much. Toronto has got GCPD breathing up his rear. Breathing down his rear.
But the beach turn is coming up, so who knows what's going to happen.
Indeed, the beach turn is coming up. These cars could potentially screw themselves over. The runner moves around fine. GCPD and Toronto move ahead. Toronto
he sends it into the beach.
And GCPD moves that just fine. Toronto needs only to go straight. Don't turn. Toronto did not go straight, and now GCPD will be up in front. Unfortunate for Toronto, but that could mean New Hampshire could try to make up for lost ground, and GCPD is now in first place.
I don't know what's going to happen, because, like, New Hampshire's really far back, but no one has caught the runner yet.
Indeed, no one has caught the runner yet. Toronto is moving ahead to try and make up for the ground he lost. GCPD.
Oh, he slams right into the rock.
New Hampshire hits the beach turn. Unfortunate for them, and once again doesn't just go forward. I wish the AI understood to just go forward and not turn right towards the water when they do that.
Yeah, I think New Hampshire gave Toronto a taste of his own medicine, like with what happens.
True, yes, just a little bit. Toronto, very unfortunate that they ended up screwing the beach turn, potentially because of GCPD. I almost said JCPD again.
Oh, New Hampshire recovers again. Man just slammed into a rock and then just drove off.
New Hampshire actually manages to recover again, so well done to New Hampshire staying in this game. This is a very fearsome battle for first, ladies and gentlemen. Both these cars with 1 point and with something to prove really want to get introduced into the main tournament.
So it's just a duel between the runner and Gotham City Police Department. So yeah, oh, the brakes are failing, so that means by the end of this,
screwing themselves a little bit on the Barstow. This could be GCPD's time to shine, unless he screws up and unless Toronto manages to get here. I don't even know where Toronto is. Probably quite a ways away though. But the long straight is coming up. Actually, here's Toronto. He's got quite a bit of ground to make up. But if GCPD manages to actually spin the runner out or something, then that would mean that Toronto. Then that could potentially mean that Toronto could get a head-on collision, and that would be a very interesting end to the round.
yeah, I'm surprised no one's caught the Barstow yet, even though the New Hampshire is pretty far back.
Indeed, New Hampshire is very far back. Toronto has got a lot of ground to make up. GCPD also has a lot of ground to make up, and no one has caught the runner yet. The beach turn is coming up once again for the third time, and this is usually where the Barstow usually likes to spin out sometimes, but it potentially looks like he will be moving around it just fine. How will JCPD fare? Looks like they will just go off the beach turn a little bit, hits the rocks, and they will be turning towards the water a little bit. GCPD actually almost choking, just barely braking before the water. So it looks like Toronto will essentially be able to potentially take this game if they overtake GCPD without going off themselves. They actually managed to monster their way over the rocks, and they are now right next to each other. Toronto and GCPD will now be locked in a fight once again for first place.
Actually, if these two take each other out and New Hampshire's the only one alive, we could just basically give him the point by default.
That is true, potentially, yes. By the way, shout out to Toronto screwing up the beach turn, but then monster trucking his way over the rocks that normally stop other people. Toronto proving that he is really in this to win this, but unfortunately GCPD is going to be a very hefty challenge right in front of him, literally.
And also, his car did get damaged from that.
That is true. His car has suffered some damage, but it looks pretty good, though.
New Hampshire is basically done.
New Hampshire is busted on the beach turn and missing a tire. Very unfortunate for him. So this battle could be down to GCPD and Toronto.
Yeah, we got like the New Hampshire is the fleet car, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so Barstow should be easy to catch now. Can't believe New Hampshire took all those hits, though. He survived all those hits and kept going.
New Hampshire took so many hits indeed, but it was his third run in the beach turn that was unfortunately the one to screw up his car. Toronto with a bit of a problem over on that over on the incline turn, goes up into the trees, but is he still in the game? Definitely looks like he is struggling to back up off that rock. Will be given a little bit of help, and he will once again be losing ground, and GCPD will be moving ahead to try to stop the Barstow.
Oh, why isn't he moving? Oh, wait.
He's missing a tire. A bit unfortunate. I think I see it in the trees. Toronto and GCPD are, yeah, their fight has been a bit, it's been a bit of a monkey wrench. Sorry, I can't speak. Bit of a monkey wrench with Toronto in that fight.
That leaves only
Toronto losing a tire.
That leaves only one car still able to take out the runner. I think we got a winner here.
That is true. That leaves only one car able to take out the runner, but will GCPD manage to do it, or will they screw up the beach turn once again? And if that happens, will we consider the round a draw? That's another good question.
Well, the fleet car is literally not alive right now.
Yeah, I know. The fleet car is not alive. At the same time, though, the runner is now getting towards the fleet car, so that could cause the runner to speed up a little bit. There's just no way to know what will happen.
Well, this is the part where he tends to spin out, so...
That is true, yes. That's usually the third lap, though. Looks like the Barstow will be moving around the beach turn just fine once again. GCPD actually runs off the beach turn. It looks like he will be going over to the beach once again. Will he manage to break this time, though? It looks like he will do so this time, yes. All these cars just struggling to manage to take the runner. Very unfortunate for them. GCPD is still up, though, and I think once GCPD passes the spawn point, we could bring New Hampshire and Toronto back.
Yeah, this is gonna take quite a while.
GCPD is still trying to get to the runner, but they have a lot of ground to make up, and with Toronto and New Hampshire poised to be respawned, then his window for an easy victory here is closing fast.
Do you think they deserve to be respawned about now?
I definitely think they do, yes. I do think they deserve to be respawned. Yep, New Hampshire is back now. Toronto...
Oh, oops.
Okay. We have made new Toronto... Sure, yes.
But it looks like it didn't
Toronto
really cause that much
worked.
damage, and they'll be on their way.
True. New Hampshire and Toronto united in order to create one car. We'll call it New Toronto because anything else is just sounds like you're speaking different language. Toronto's door's a little bit open. He'll figure that out. There you go. He kind of figured that out, sorta. And Toronto and New Hampshire will be moving ahead to try and make up all that lost ground that they unfortunately lost, with GCPD doing what he can to seize the victory before they get there.
With the way this is looking, like I don't think it'll be soon that the runner actually finally gets caught.
Yes, this definitely seems like it's shaping up to be a long war of attrition almost. It almost seems like it could end up being decided by just who's respawned at the right time, potentially. That'd be interesting, yeah.
Yeah, if only New Hampshire didn't get that last point, we wouldn't be sitting here for another 10 or 20 so minutes just trying to determine a winner.
Well, I mean, if New Hampshire didn't get the last point, then there's still, someone else could have still gotten the last point.
That is true,
if
but
only Toronto won round 2. Also, that's quite the freaking camera stutter over here, jeez.
If only Toronto did not sabotage
Why is the camera stuttering so bad?
It's not stuttering that bad for me.
Oh, the stream is stuttering like mad.
Oh, okay. Anyways, if only Toronto wasn't if only Toronto did not sabotage GCPD, maybe it would have gone a bit quicker. But here we are.
Indeed, yes. If only Toronto didn't sabotage GCPD, if only GCPD didn't steal the win from Toronto, then maybe we wouldn't be here. But yes, the fact remains that we are here, and this tiebreaker round is still going on, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, GCPD goes off the beach turn a little bit. Bit of a problem for him, but that will actually allow Toronto and New Hampshire to make up for the lost ground, and that could bring all of our cars together in the same general area where they can start battling for first.
Yeah, but the problem is it's not a race. You don't battle for position. You're battling to catch the runner, which none of them are even getting remotely close to at this point.
That is true, yes. Then again, though, even though it's not a race, you still battle to be in first place, because if you're in first relative to the runner, then you are closest to the runner, which means you are most likely to win. However, that's not how it works, actually, because of Mississippi and Police Interceptor. Toronto will be moving across the turn just fine. GCPD is now at the start with the runner in the background. New Hampshire goes off the beach turn once again. Very unfortunate for him. Toronto is just screaming ahead, trying to recover all the lost ground that he lost with GCPD around the ditch turn, and Toronto not far behind.
You know, it's like Toronto's waving every time he opens the door.
Yes, Toronto is waving to the audience every time. Well, not now, because the other side.
So how far away is the runner? Quite far. Again, every time...
At the shipping container. GCPD is not at the shipping container yet, so quite a bit of distance, I would agree. Yes, New Hampshire is back at the spawn, sort of. I would say Toronto is probably at the cinematic corner moving ahead. Yep, there's Toronto. I was correct. And there's just a lot of distance between all these cars. Essentially, they are in different zip codes right now.
Do you believe we should have a reset of this round? Because it's taking, like, obnoxiously long amounts of time.
I don't think we should reset this round, because even though everyone is, like, several thousand kilometers away from each other, it seems like it's just been kind of a stalemate, but the beach turn has the potential to break that stalemate, and so does respawning. So I think if we watch this round play out, we could potentially have a very interesting result.
So
like
UsernameHere has opted to not restart the round, so we will just wait this one out, I guess.
Yeah. It's a very interesting war of attrition.
So yes, it's been like the 4th or 5th lap at this point. I actually honestly stopped keeping track, and the runner's still not caught. It's taken quite a while.
Looks like the runner's reaching the beach turn once again, though. Will they spin out like they do sometimes? No, the answer is no on that front. GCPD just behind him could go off the beach turn and could screw things. Yep, he sure does. He goes off the beach turn once again, but he actually recovers from it, so well done, GCPD, for recovering from the beach turn. And Toronto will once again not be far behind. I accidentally bumped my desk with my office chair. Just ignore that.
Honestly, it's just an endless loop. Every time the Gotham City gets close enough to a runner, he screws up the beach turn.
Potentially does. Ooh, New Hampshire is on the long turn a little bit.
Whoa, that's a hard hit.
New Hampshire is absolutely smashed, but they're still going, proving that they're still in this game. I hope their steering will be able to allow them to move through the beach turn. Looks like Toronto will be moving through the beach turn just fine as well. And, yeah, it looks like New Hampshire's got busted steering. They are potentially, yeah, they're going into the curb. They've got busted steering. I don't know if they'll be able to make the beach turn. Oh, they just barely make the beach turn, and they go off into... That was a very impressive feat from New Hampshire, having an extremely damaged car and managing to hold themselves on the road and not go off the beach turn. Toronto and GCPD are a bit closer together now. It looks like the runner is a bit closer to GCPD now, so it could mean that potentially the stalemate could be broken pretty soon. Potentially, I would hope so, at least.
Yeah, and we got New Hampshire back here, still trying to make his way around the track.
New Hampshire is a fearsome competitor, you could say. Managed to seize that last round with the assistance of the trees, and his car is quite damaged, but he's still in it, and he managed to hold the beach turn as well, despite all that.
I feel like the Gotham City is just gonna screw up the beach turn once again, and then basically have an endless loop.
Potentially, we could see Gotham City screw up the beach turn once more, but in addition, the runner is potentially still going slow. I'm not sure why these cars aren't as aggressive as they could be. GCPD spinning on the forest turn just a tiny bit, but manages to hold out there. Toronto is still just trying to make up all the lost ground. They're just trying to get closer together so they can start actually battling for that position. Toronto really wants to be in the main invitational. Toronto really wants to be in the main tournament, and GCPD is just struggling to turn that first place position into a point in this game.
You could really hear the brakes fading, but so far they haven't spun out the runner yet, which is surprising.
Indeed. If anyone can manage to spin out the runner, then that would close out the round. Not necessarily for the person who spins out the runner. That would definitely close out the round. Because that would allow someone like Toronto or New Hampshire to get themselves a head-on. And the runner is moving across the beach turn once again. Oh, actually, they're going off the beach turn a little bit. How's the Barstow doing? Barstow is spinning out on the beach turn a little bit. So even the Barstow, here comes GCPD with the smash in the back. And it looks like that is the spin around that we were talking about. And if Toronto does not screw up the beach turn, then they are completely poised to just smash the runner. There's Toronto, ladies and gentlemen. They managed to hold the beach turn. And Toronto will be moving ahead to absolutely smash the runner with another head-on. But is the runner still going, ladies and gentlemen? Looks like they actually are. GCPD moves to the side with a bit of a damaged car, and Toronto will be moving ahead to try and close out this round. It looks like they will do the same right at the spawn location. It's starting to happen, ladies and gentlemen. Toronto spins and bumps into the runner, and even though the runner is not stopped, it looks like Toronto is just trying to box in the runner as best they can.
So finally we have contact on, like, what is this, the 6th lap? Oh my god, they're gonna hit each other, yep.
GCPD smashes the back of Toronto. Toronto with an extremely damaged car, but refuses to lose this round to GCPD. GCPD with heavy damage as well. These two are now fighting to the finish relentlessly, ladies and gentlemen. The Barstow tries to juke them and tries to spin around. GCPD bumps into them a little bit. And if the Barstow mentioned, no, the Barstow is still going. GCPD and Toronto are just furiously fighting to try and stop the runner. There is no way to know which one of these cars is actually going to win, ladies and gentlemen. The runner is once again free, and Toronto and GCPD have caused a stalemate and are now stuck at each other. Toronto will be moving ahead to seize that first position, and GCPD still has a lot of damage on his car. He's got a bumper under him. That has been helped off of him. And the runner is now reaching the cinematic corner once more. Looks like Toronto's car is about to quit, though, so it is pretty much now or never. Unless the Barstow screws up himself, though. This could be it. Toronto could push them off. Toronto pushes them off, ladies and gentlemen. The Barstow slows down right before the cinematic corner, and Toronto, despite having a car that was all ready to quit, Toronto pushes him in for that final nail in the coffin and throws him off the cliff of the cinematic corner, seizing this tiebreaker and earning himself a spot in the main tournament.
Yes, we finally came to a conclusion of this very long tiebreaker round, which I was not exactly pleased to see. But at least we got a winner out of that.
Yes, indeed. Toronto winning the war of attrition and still having enough fight left in him to face GCPD, who appears to be in... Oh, is that New Hampshire? I think it was New Hampshire in the water over there. New Hampshire just didn't want to quit in that game, but unfortunately it looks like their car did. Their steering just wasn't enough to keep up, and now unfortunately they ended up at the bottom of a cliff in the bottom of the ocean. This is like the 3rd round that they've ended up in the water. They really like that water.
Let's see. So it looks like Toronto be getting the point. GCPD was following him for like the longest time, but never did anything useful at all, and basically lost his chance.
GCPD lost his chance. He was in for GCPD lost his chance. He was in first place for so long, but he wasn't able to keep up with the beach turn, having to take it so many times. And in the end, unfortunately for him, he did manage to get a good spin, but unfortunately he wasn't able to seize the runner, and Toronto was able to move in for the kills, kicking off the final battle of this tiebreaker round.
So yeah, he's got
after an absolutely insane battle between Toronto and GCPD, after emerging from that war of attrition, they managed to both put up an amazing fight, but in the end, GCPD just wasn't able to put in enough effort, and Toronto saw their moment to strike and sped up on the cinematic corner, throwing the runner off the cliff and seizing themselves a point in the main tournament. And that will do it for this Invitational, ladies and gentlemen. My name is UsernameHere, joined by my co-commentator, Devion. Congratulations to Toronto, who we will be seeing in episode number 16. So tune in to Devion's channel next time for that. In the meantime, my name is UsernameHere, with Devion signing off.